you just made a huge decision and you decided to make this pivot and you launched something new, something you believed in, something that you are excited about, and you're so good at it. Like, you are so good at that thing. But instead of building from that confidence of knowing how good you are at that thing and how exciting this new venture is, you're building out of fear. And it's because you're addicted to approval. Welcome to the Codeswitch Rebellion. This is the podcast for corporate misfits, service providers, and thought leaders who are done shrinking and performing professionalism just to be taken seriously. I'm Melanie L. Denny, aka Melly D, personal branding consultant and the identity strategist. And this is where we talk about what it really takes to build a personal brand rooted in who you are, not who you were taught to be. If you're ready to unpack identity, visibility, storytelling, and how to really show up with bold authenticity to finally connect with your ideal clients, then stay tuned and let's get into it. Now, this concept is relatively new to me. Like, I didn't know it was a name for it, but I had been operating from that space for a long time. And it's kind of like a flaw. Like, we see it as this thing that's wrong. Like, we should not be constantly searching for other people's approval, right? And it's kind of like, if you do that and you weak, like, what are you doing? You don't need approval from these people. Just do you. But it's not really like, that's not really what it's all about, for real. See, the thing is, we were wired for being in community with each other. We were never supposed to be alone, right? We're always supposed to be together. We need each other. The world goes around because of each other. We can't operate alone. It's just literally just not how we were made. Human beings need togetherness, and we need to be accepted to be able to operate together. And this is not necessarily an issue just on its own. If you just look at it, it's not really a big issue, right? The issue comes into play when you start making most of your decisions based on your need to seek approval. So in today's episode, we're going to really dive into this concept of approval addiction. And we're going to talk about how it shows up in real life. And we're going to talk about where it comes from and how we can start to build from our own foundation instead of everybody else's opinion of us. Now, this is something that we struggle with day in and day out, right? It's not something that goes away. It's not something that doesn't exist. It exists constantly. Where we're doing it, even if we don't realize it, right? We're doing it in our marriages. We want to get approval from our husbands or our wives. We want approval from our boss at work. We want approval from our friends. Think about it. Does this look good on me? Is my hair cute? Right? Your mom. Oh, of course, your mom, your parents, your dad. You even want approval from your kids, even down to your neighbors. Like, you want to be a good neighbor. You know, you want to make sure that you're not being that neighbor where everybody's looking at you crazy like, oh, did you see the neighbor over there, right? You want to be seen as a good whatever, insert blank, right? You want to be seen as a good wife, a good mom, a good worker, a good friend, a good neighbor, a good daughter, right? And all of those things need approval for the other person to stamp it and says, yes, you are a good X, Y, and Z. And you want to be a good business owner. You want to show up on the World Wide Web and in real life at events and whatnot. And you want people to buy into you as a business owner. It's just so constant. We don't even realize that's what's going on, right? It don't even register as like, I am constantly seeking approval from other people. Because we register it as like we care about people, or we care what they think of us, and we care how they see us, because we want, again, it boils back down to you want to be accepted by them and you want to be approved. You want that approval. But, however, as people say, you don't want it to be running the entire show. Especially without you realizing that's what's going on. Child, that's exactly what was happening to me. So when I decided I'm not writing resumes no more. I don't want to see another resume. Get me the hell up out of here. It took me 4 years to actually stop. There were several reasons for that, but the main reason is because I just didn't know anything else outside of that. I had been so immersed in that world, I didn't even know what else to do. So I was kind of stuck like, okay, if not resume writing, what? If I'm not a resume writer, who am I, right? There was a lot of identity issues going on there. And when I realized like my gift is indeed branding, which is what I had been doing in the resume world, I was like, okay, we're gonna start this branding thing. So I started a branding firm, and it was consulting and coaching. And I had some folks come through, it was great. Like, I am a great coach. Like, all of them were raving. Some people cried in their sessions. They gained a lot from it. And I would show up there to the calls like, boom, hey, this is what we're doing, helping them, doing whatever. It was great. Like, I'm a dope ass coach, by the way. But when it came to actually like building and marketing myself in this new light, I was terrified. I did not want to put myself out there in this way because, one, I felt like everybody's watching me. So over 13 years, I had been writing resumes and publicly talking about resume writing, giving tips on resume writing, position myself as the expert for resume writing, even to the point where people started getting mentored from me as resume writers. Like, I was deep into this thing, and that's what people knew me for. And so when I publicly said, hey y'all, I'm not doing this no more, this is what I'm doing now, I just felt like everybody was watching me, like watching my every move. Like, oh, what's she doing now? Like, is she doing well? Is she making money in this new thing? Like, are people actually hiring her? Is she getting results in this new thing? Like, what's up with Mel? What's going on with her? What's she doing? We looking, we watching. Mind you, I have no idea if people are watching me or not. They probably didn't give a fuck. They really probably didn't give a damn what I was doing. But in my head, the world was watching. All of my LinkedIn, I had amassed, like, at that time, I think I had like 20,000 LinkedIn followers. I was doing a lot on Facebook. People I actually knew personally, people I had met, people who saw me speak. It was all these people. And I just felt like I was not doing enough to gain their approval. So when it came time to market my new business, the anxiety. I was so scared. I was so nervous. Nervous not only that they felt like I didn't make the right decision, but nervous in like, what if I didn't actually make the right decision? Like, me believing maybe I made a bad decision and I should have just stuck with what I knew and what I was really good at and what I had built, versus starting this new thing where I kind of know what I'm doing, but it's a little bit different of a beast. And I'm talking about things that I haven't even mastered quite yet, right? So I didn't have to master resume writing. I wasn't trying to get a job. So it didn't matter what I was doing, what my job looked like, because this was my job. My business was my job. So there was nothing to say, well, she can't even do that for herself, because I wasn't trying to do it for myself. But this now, I'm talking about personal branding. And mind you, I had done it for myself. I did a damn good job of branding myself and being an expert. I'm talking about quotes all over the media. I had, different reporters reaching out to me. Hey, can you quote, say something in this article I'm writing about this just career related thing? And I was killing the game. And a lot of my colleagues were like, why the hell would you stop right at the peak? Because I felt like I was like at the peak. I was just, I was killing it. But this new thing, I felt like, do I really know what I'm doing in this new thing? Like, the confidence just was not there. And even though I knew I knew how to build a personal brand, because I did it for myself, and I was branding my resume clients, now it was under a microscope. And I was like, I don't know. I just, am I doing this right? should I say that? Should I say this? I just, I wanted people to continue to praise me as they were doing for the last 13 years. And it was terrifying. And so instead of building my business from the place of, this is exciting, I love this, I know what I'm doing, because my clients loved it. Like, they were happy with the work that we were doing together. So it's not like I was out here ripping people off, scamming people. Like, that's not what was happening. I was really actually quite good at what I do. Like, I still am. But I didn't believe it. And I needed other people to tell me, hey, you're awesome. Hey, you're dope. And I was building from the fear of them realizing maybe she's not as dope as we thought she was. Maybe she's not as dope in this new area. And you know why? Because I didn't know if I was dope in this new area. So I was building from that fear versus building from the confidence of knowing who the fuck I am. Right? That's what it boiled back down to. Like, I am a dope ass coach. I am amazing at helping people figure out what their uniqueness is. I am amazing at helping people position themselves. I am amazing at building community because I have done it. And I forgot. I was like, oh, I know who I am. I think I kind of know, but like, I feel like people won't recognize that because I'm starting over. And it's not as prominent, and it's not as much because it's new, right? And the thing about it is, this is something that we all struggle with. I'm still struggling with things like this, right? When I decided to rebrand, because what happened initially was I just took my Resume Evolution branding, which was very corporate-y, the blues, the tans, the safe colors. I just took that branding and then changed the words around. So now it's like personal branding firm versus resume writing, right? That's all I did. And I wasn't as, like, now I say straight up, like, Black women need to stop code switching so we can be who we are and attract the type of opportunities that we deserve, right? I'm clear on that now. But like, when I first started, I would say like women of color. Even that was a struggle. Like, should I call this out or should I just keep it broad and keep it safe? And that decision was so hard. And I was so damn nervous because, again, I wanted acceptance. I didn't want to get on the internet streets and people be like, what the hell are you talking about, girl? Shut the hell up. All the racist white folks in my comments telling me this and telling me that. Like, that just gave me the worst anxiety. And it kept me small and it kept me stuck for a long time. Too long, right? Because I started with the personal branding agency in 2023, January. And then did pretty well that year. The next year I did okay. And I realized this is really not me. I'm not playing full out because what I'm trying to preach to my clients, I'm not living that life. And I am being the very thing that I'm trying to preach against, right? It's like shrinking and code switching and mimicking other people and trying to play it safe and not fully saying what I want to say. And I was like, this doesn't even feel like me. These colors. So in 2025, I just totally got rid of the entire Resume Evolution, Resume Evolution brand. And I rebranded to Melanated. And that's when I finally said, you know what? No more bullshit. Like, get to it, Mel. Get to it. These people need to hear what you got to say. And from that is where I started to find my voice and really started to get clear on what I wanted to say. And I decided I needed to start this podcast because I wanted my people, my clients, the people that I have worked with, Black women, I wanted them to know and see that you could still be great without conforming. and that you don't have to bring all that corporate conditioning and conditioning from the world and the constant seeking of people's approval to do great, to be successful, right? And I wanted to be that example. So I said, Mel, you can't be out here trying to tell somebody one thing and doing something else. It's like those preachers who be cheating on their wives and then preaching against adultery. Yeah. I didn't want to be that. Hypocritical shit is not the move. The difference between like knowing and recognizing it and just doing it on autopilot is now then you can call it out, name it, recognize it, and change it. Okay? Because the addiction to approval is not something that is terrible. It's not bad. You literally want to be able to be in community with other people. It becomes an issue when it drives every single decision that you make. It's still going to be there, but you want it to be like running in the background versus it driving every single decision, right? So you don't want to be someone who never seeks approval, because then you asshole. At that point, you're insensitive. Like, you don't give a fuck what nobody got to say. That's a little extreme, but there is a nice healthy balance to where you're good, you're happy, you're being true to who you are, and you can still care about what other people think of you, especially those that are close to you. Now, strangers on the internet, they can kick rocks. I'm not gonna hold you. Because there's always gonna be someone who agrees with you, and there's always gonna be someone who disagrees with you. Like, let's look at our current climate. Right now, at the time of this recording, we have Trump as president. And he got people, he got followers, he got ride or dies. So that right there to me just goes to show, like, you could be the dumbest fool on the planet and somebody gonna agree and buy into what you're talking about. And so you want to be considerate of the people in your immediate circle. But after that, the people on the internet, they'll fall in line wherever they fall at. You know what I mean? Like, we're not too much focused on them. And that's what I was doing. I was worried about the people on the internet, which is crazy. It has cost me a lot of money because I didn't market myself. I didn't post the things I wanted to say. I didn't launch the thing. You know how long I've been thinking about Codeswitch Rebellion as a podcast? For a few years. And just this year I started. Like, waste of time. But it's okay. Everyone does things in their own time, and it's okay. We are here in life all trying to figure this shit out. When we think about being addicted to approval, you most definitely want to start to recognize it and just think about the decisions you make and why you're making the decision you are making, right? Are you doing it because this is where I want to go, because this is in line with who I am, because it takes me closer to my goals? Is it in integrity with who I am, etc.? Or are you doing it because it's going to look a certain way and it's going to appease a certain set of people? If you start asking, you can start to separate the decisions that you're making for you versus the decisions you're making just because you want approval from the masses. And look, if you're in the middle of a rebrand, or if you're in the middle of pivoting, or if you've just been doing business and you just feel like something's wrong or something's off or something's missing, and you want to get clarity on how you've been showing up and like what you've been saying and how you've been saying things, you may want to talk to me. Come on, book a call, book a digital brand audit, because that's where I can really take a good look, a real deep dive into how you've been showing up, if you've been showing up, where you've been showing up, what you've been saying, who you've been talking to. Are you really truly being visible? Are you hiding still? Like, all of those things I can see. I'm really good at that stuff. So book the digital brand audit. I'll do my research. We'll get to the call and we'll dive into everything. We'll talk about, your visibility, your messaging. We'll talk about your ability to convert your audience, all of that. Okay. So listen, I appreciate y'all for being here and listening to this podcast. This has been another episode of the Codeswitch Rebellion. And never, ever, ever forget, baby, your identity is the strategy. Deuces. If this episode sparked something in you and you want to continue the conversation, join me over on Substack. I would love to hear your thoughts on today's topic. Till next time, y'all, remember, your identity is the strategy.